The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Magicbricks webinar, our endeavor to empower you with insights on the real estate market performance and consumer sentiments on property prices in the next 6 months. The topic of today's session is what to know while investing in Indian luxury realty market. And our guest speaker today is Yash Joshi. He's the Managing Director Management, RMZ Corp. A passionate real estate professional, Mr. Yash Joshi has a rich experience of over 15 years in real estate. His prior experience in industrial sales, international trading, and service industry gives him the insight and a 360-degree view to making realistic assessments on the demands and expectations of real estate developers. Previously, Yash was involved in leasing and land acquisition at RMZ Corp. Thereafter, he was responsible for establishing RMZ Homes, which he heads. Prior to his association with RMZ Corp, he worked with Colliers International, post which he worked with C.B. Richards Ellis as the head of transactions for the Western region. Yash holds a bachelor's degree in science from Mumbai University. So, now without further delay, I introduce you all to our guest speaker. Over to you, Mr. Yash.
Thank you, Aradhana. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and those on this session. There's a lot of interest of investing in the Indian luxury realty market, both domestically as well as from the NRI community. For those who do not know RMZ, let me introduce you to RMZ Corp. RMZ Corp, headquartered in Bangalore, established in 2002, primarily commenced operations in developing commercial office space. Today, RMZ holds over 15 million square feet, developed since inception, with assets under management exceeding US $2.5 billion in value. RMZ is well positioned and high quality occupiers occupy the spaces developed on long-term leases. RMZ has a joint venture with Ascot International, part of the Capital Land Group. Investors in RMZ are from Barings Equity as well as from Qatar QIA. We entered homes as RMZ Homes and Hospitality in the year 2011. Strong marketing and leasing team coupled with a strong sales team and a good execution track record. We have a strong design team. We have a great project sourcing and execution capabilities. These are some of our key strengths. We announced our entry in the development of residences and offering for the niche segment. We have adopted Living Beautifully as our tagline for RMZ Homes. Initially, we came into this segment offering premium condominiums at RMZ Galleria, luxury condominiums at RMZ Latitude, luxury villas at RMZ Sava. Last month, all three projects won awards from Silicon India for design and for the offering which they offer. At RMZ Homes, in the next 5 years, we intend to build 10 million square feet. At RMZ, life is not just about living, but living beautifully. We believe every RMZ home owner shall have and enjoy a distinct lifestyle, world-class amenities, and a bouquet of privileged services. Let us look at the NRI market. Many of the journals, many IPCs call this NRI market as eager and rich. It is fashionable to talk of targeting the NRI population and the profile with a request, with a motive that they do come back to this country and invest in real estate. Let us look at the profile. Overseas Indians living in 200 countries, approximately 2 crores, with an NRI population is approximately 1 crore. Gulf accounts for nearly 57% of the NRI population, followed by UK 15%, USA 9%, and Singapore 3.5%. In the United States, Indians are amongst the richest immigrant class in the country, with millionaires exceeding 200,000. Over 75% of the motel business is controlled by NRIs. 4 out of 10 Silicon Valley startups are run by Indians. This is where the Bangalore Connect comes in. And more than 90% of the NRI population abroad are professionals, qualified, trained, and making their life outside the shores of this country. Apart from Delhi and Bangalore, apart from Delhi and Mumbai, the maximum demand is for residential units ranging from apartments to penthouses to gated communities and villas in the southern cities of Bangalore, Chennai, and Hyderabad. Bangalore, Chennai, and Hyderabad is also the golden triangle where office spaces are taken up in large volumes. These office spaces are taken up in large volumes predominantly by companies involved in IT and ITES. Drawing the parallels and the connection, you can safely assume that the demand from the NRI population for the luxury and uber luxury primarily emanates from professionals in the IT, ITES, and yes, also from certain people involved in large volume trading and businesses. Bangalore is the most favorite destination amongst all the IT, ITES people, primarily because it offers you a very conducive climate to live in, and it is the IT capital of this country. As per the Ministry of Overseas Indian Affairs and ASSOCHAM, India is one of the fastest growing real estate markets. The sector's progress is driven by factors such as changing lifestyles, rural-urban migration, increasing higher income levels, ever-developing infrastructure, rapid urbanization, all this leading to a greater housing demand. Luxury housing is emerging as one of the most vibrant and dynamic segments of the Indian real estate industry. It has been our experience that the Indian real estate market is demand-based and not speculation-based. We at RMZ did launch commercial office spaces as speculative buildings, but most of them were occupied, concluded transactions even before the buildings are complete. We also see that the luxury housing market adopts and incorporates amenities and facilities as demanded by the customers and not necessarily as perceived by the architects and developers. The market for super luxury housing in India is a merely 5%. We believe it is approximately 10%, depending on the market segmentation we are talking about. and 40% of the market is mid-market. Another 40% is in the premium market. The 20% balance, you can say about 10% is uber luxury and 10% is luxury market. NRIs are spread across all the globe. Only a fraction of them buy, as chances of them returning to India and taking up roots is only about 20%. Most of the NRIs who come back to India are from countries where permanent residence status is not available. Most of the purchases done in any city are by 85% from the local population. 15% is done from people who do not reside in a particular city. Of this 15%, you could say about 5% would be from overseas. For the luxury segment, we have to address this 5%. The ongoing trend is that this percentage of audience tilts toward purchase of luxury apartments. Why is this so? People who leave the shores and make their life outside these shores are accustomed to the facilities and amenities of various condos and homes which they occupy. This, when translated back home to India, along with the location in which a particular development takes place, it becomes a luxury product when compared to the other offerings from the local market. What do NRIs appreciate? They appreciate a clear title. They appreciate timely delivery. They appreciate no additional cost escalations. They appreciate transparency in all the dealings. The question is, which city would the NRI like to return to? Any person who leaves the shores of India would like to be connected with that region. And investing in Indian property gives a feeling of support, security, and keeps that Indian connection alive. Yet, of late, not everybody returns to their roots. Without being parsimonious, a good choice in deciding the city depends on factors where climatic conditions, proximity of family, disruptive education, and employment all are available. Whether the project benefits from approach roads that allow for convenient vehicular egress and ingress is something which definitely is an infrastructure issue, and this also is looked into. States and cities which do invest in infrastructure, upgrading and modernizing the same, shall definitely benefit from the returning NRI population. Yes, one more thing that everybody looks at appreciation, but not necessarily that is the driving force. As per market studies, Bangalore has around 5,400 luxury units under various stages of construction as reported by L.J. Hooker. Bangalore reports sales of close to 100 luxury units every quarter. Mumbai and NCR, in comparison, see much less investments. This does not mean that they are not preferred locations. It is the ticket size of luxury units in Mumbai and NCR, which is substantially higher than what Bangalore has to offer. Hence, many transactions take place in Bangalore and not so many in Mumbai and NCR. When you look at an apple-to-apple comparison, it is observed that the luxury property in Bangalore is approximately 20 to 30% cheaper compared to Mumbai and NCR. What fuels Bangalore's rise to the top? A, it is the salubrious climate. B, there is a lot of respect for law and design in Bangalore. Quality of construction, as observed across the country, is far more superior. Floor-to-ceiling heights, amenities, building elevations are certain aspects coupled with reasonable pricing. Currently, the flavor and the region in which Bangalore is growing is central and not Bangalore in the luxury segment. Key factors which NRIs need to keep in mind before investing: A, developers' credentials. They have to look into their research and understand which developer they would be willing to invest with. They need to understand what features of the project are important and what features of the project are non-important. The important ones have to outweigh the non-important ones. Specifications in layout, not necessarily only of finishes, but also of the quality of construction, seismic zone analysis, parking, something which they need to do, as vehicular population on a per family basis in the mid-segment and above is far higher than in developed countries due to non-availability of reasonably efficient public transport. We would always advise all NRIs and all purchasers of real estate to have a verification done independently by their lawyers, and please do a due diligence of all the documentation provided of every developer who has to provide the same before he sells it to a customer. There are other statutory norms, both of income tax and of EMA for the NRI developers, which they need to keep themselves abreast. Saying this, I conclude my presentation and invite questions from those on this session.
Okay, the first question is, it's by Ahmed. He's asking, do you think leasing out a luxury property can earn me handsome benefit? I wish to sell it in 6 to 7 years.
Mr. Ahmed, good afternoon. Buying into a luxury property at the initial stages of project completion up to 6 to 7 years would give you a substantial capital appreciation, which you should take into your analysis of returns from this investment, along with whatever lease rentals you benefit during the interim. If you look at the lease rental which comes to you, it will be much lower than 4% of the capital value. which is nothing but it is, you can say, maintenance cost of this luxury property. When you sell it in 6 to 7 years, you will see a substantial capital appreciation, which is your real return.
The next question is from Vitas. He's asking, please suggest me that I want to invest 1 crore to buy empty agricultural land near Rajiv Haradari, Ranangreddy district, Andhra Pradesh. Is it profitable in long-term basis?
Rajiv, if you're an agriculturist, and you have the spare capital, please go ahead and buy agricultural land. If you want to profit on speculation of buying agricultural land, you would have to look at what is the development plan in the Rangareddy district, in and around the area where you intend to make this investment. Sitting over here without other development plans and the exact location, I would not really be in a position to justify my response to your question.
The next question is from Tulika. She's asking, do you think a 1 BHK, even if priced high, comes under luxury? If no, then why?
Tulika, it is not only the ticket price which makes a property luxury or otherwise. In my earlier webinar, I had said that we believe there are only 2 types of properties. One is luxury, and then there are others. Luxury comes with a whole host of amenities and facilities. Luxury property is termed luxury based on the ease at which it is approached, ingress, egress, and the location at which it is built. Now, if your 1-bedroom home qualifies with other aspects of a luxury home, it can be termed luxury. If not, and even if priced very high, I would not term it as luxury.
The next question is from Anirudh Lamba. He's asking, how do you define the luxury and super luxury segment? Is there a price cutoff or are there other factors?
Anirudh, while answering Tulika's question above, I did say that a luxury property and a super luxury property primarily are defined from their offerings both in service, in amenities, and in facilities. If there is no concierge in a very high ticket priced apartment, you definitely cannot call it a super luxury segment. Similarly, a low priced apartment in Bangalore would be offering you far more than a similar priced apartment in Mumbai. That's where the difference comes between affordable, mid-segment, premium, luxury, and super luxury.
The next question is from Arpan, and she's asking, I'm looking to buy a 1 BHK in Hiranandani's Zen project. A rate for 1 BHK is about 1.23 crore and 1.44 crore inclusive all. The possession of this project is tentatively in December 2018. Will it reap me good benefits? Arpan.
Arpan, good afternoon. Hiranandani has carved out a good name for themselves, and that is one of the primary reasons when I say that please look at the credentials of the developer. So I believe you are making a good investment with Hiranandani. Given the time frame that delivery is in 2018, which is a good 4 years away, you would be making payments in smaller installments over a longer period of time. I'm definitely purely on this parameter, you would have a substantial capital appreciation, which we call is reaping good benefits, and hence I would say that you may go ahead with this investment.
The next question is from Mr. Jain. He's asking, sir, in Bangalore, few developers are offering apartments with buyback guarantee at higher price. Is this a good opportunity or is there any flaw attached to it?
Rishabh, these developers have faith in their products. These developers would take their projects to a minimum buyback price as quoted by them. This is an assurance from them to you as a purchaser that you shall not lose on capital appreciation. What has been experienced by a few people when they invested with certain one or two developers whose capital value may have gone down in the past.
The next question is from Mr. Rajesh. He's asking, can luxury be understood as a well-planned home rather than the ones that are brought at higher cost? For example, at present the market value of my home is rupees 2 crore. If I do up the house in terms of interior, will it be considered luxurious?
I don't think so, Rajesh, that the internal doing up of a home will get you even that much extra when you sell your home. A property is valued, luxury or otherwise, more from the outside than from within. A luxury property is supposed to be an address. Hence, it has to have a location. A luxury property is viewed on how it is maintained, how the asset is managed, what type of amenities and services are offered, and then finally, a person chooses between an apartment A or an apartment B. Should your home, should your property have all the features from the outside first, then when a purchaser is comparing between two homes within the same building, he would value your home better if it is done up better.
The next question is from Mr. Sanjeev Patel. He's asking, could you share some nice luxury projects in Hyderabad?
Sanjeev, this is a forum which is giving you views on luxury. I'm sure if you go to the luxury section of Magicbricks, you shall see a substantial amount of luxury projects which they would be promoting in Hyderabad. Similarly, Magicbricks, if you go and see in Bangalore, you would see all our projects on the same site. It would be not fair for me to give an opinion on one or two projects in Hyderabad and leave the others out. Hence, I would request you to go and do a net search on what you seek.
The next question is from Preeti. She's asking, how do I know that I'm getting the best worth of my investment in luxury home?
Preeti, if you're living in that home, there is nothing to count. You're just living in the luxury home. If you are looking at an investment in a luxury home and renting it out, then it is pointless. Please do not make that mistake. The only return you'll get from a luxury home is an appreciation of capital value over medium to long term.
The next question is from Joseph. He's asking, what is the approximate maintenance cost of a luxury house?
Joseph, starting from approximately 8 rupees a square foot, it could go up to 50 rupees a square foot per month, depending on kind of amenities, facilities, which a luxury home is built and offering.
The next question is from Inder, and he's asking, in India, where luxury market is not too big, is it wise to go in for one house that would cost me crores, or perhaps two that would give me good return?
Inder, if you are going to live in that house, I would suggest that please buy one house, live in it, enjoy. We see that people earn a lot of money during their lifetime, and during the entire earnings, they are able to spend only about 30%. 70% they leave behind for relatives, friends, children. Philosophy has to change. If you are doing well, if you are earning well, might as well buy one home, live in it, and enjoy it. Don't buy 2 homes and rent them out, because then you are subsidizing somebody else's living and you yourself are compromising on your lifestyle. I hope you seriously understand what I just said.
Faisal is asking, what are the features or amenities that differentiates a premium residential project from a standard one? What impact do these add-ons or premium features make on cost structure, cost of construction?
Faisal, if you have to build, if you have to plan, I would say, a home or an apartment which is 3-side open, and you want all the apartments in the same building to be 3-side open, then A, you give up on the developmental rights of some FAR. You build taller homes, which increases cost of construction. A luxury home has to have more than 1 car park per home, hence that is also increases cost of construction. You have to keep more common areas, which means loading, so which again increases the cost of construction. As you go on building services, amenities, building their operations and their maintenance, the cost of construction would definitely go up. It all is proportional to what an offering is offering.
Abdul Aziz is asking, when I talk of making profits in the luxury market, what are the chances that I'll make one?
Abdul, time and again this question has been asked. I'm repeating the answer for again which any question just comes across in a similar manner. Returns on a property primarily come from capital appreciation. Returns on a property by way of rent is no rent, primarily because to buy a property, one may raise housing loan at a minimum of 10.5%, whereas the rental income would not exceed more than 4% as a rule of thumb across all residential properties. Hence, any chance of making money in a luxury market would be from capital appreciation, which you would book when you transact and sell this property.
Naveen Nishant is asking what I should look for while investing in luxury. Is it location or neighborhood or quality of construction? What matters the most?
Location matters the most, Naveen. Primarily, when I came into the real estate industry, they said that, Yash, only 3 things matter in a property, and the 3 things are location, location, location. But yes, you must also look at the quality of construction, and it matters. When we talk of location, neighborhood is already considered into location.
Mr. Mahesh Panigadi is asking, I have budget of rupees 1.5 crore and looking to buy a villa in Bangalore. Which are the areas I should look at that offers me luxurious lifestyle?
Mr. Mahesh, I would first request you to have clarity on the size of the villa which you are looking for. There are people who build villas which are as low as 1,200 square feet. There are developers who build villas which exceed 6,500 square feet. Coming to a choice of size, if you are looking for an area of around 1,200 square foot, I would suggest that you please go and buy with a well-reputed developer an apartment, as it would offer you greater amenities and facilities by living in a group with other group of people than living in an independent villa, which is very tiny, and hence all work will have to be done with you.
Monica Tracy is asking, does the luxury market in India still restricted to the metro cities?
No, Monica, not necessarily. You have to just go down to the secondary cities and see what kind of luxurious living the people from the hinterland are actually living in. You may want to go to cities like Bellary. You may want to go to cities like Bhimtal. You may want to go to cities or the hills of Kurg, and you will see that people over there live far more luxuriously than what we in the city could imagine.
Vijus Fernandez, another question. How would you compare Panvel versus Palava?
Vijus, I really don't know where Palava is. Panvel, I have a fair idea. Panvel has grown than what it used to be about 20 years ago. Panvel is considered to be future Navi Mumbai. So you will have to make that comparison with this yourself. I don't think so. I am equipped to answer your question at this forum just now.
Ms. Meera Soni is asking, do you think at present the Indian luxury market is witnessing more end users than investors?
Meera, very interesting question. Investors in a luxury market increase if and only if they are able to either occupy it or they are able to lease it to somebody who's willing to take it on rent. Yes, the rental does not necessarily exceed 3 to 4% of the current capital value. But coming back to your question, if you're seeing more sales of luxury market, that means there is more wealth being created in this country. I would say that if more wealth is created in the country, standards of living of everybody goes up. Hence, based on this corollary, I would answer your question that yes, end users of luxury market are increasing in this country.
Mr. Singh is asking, since the criteria that defines luxury market differs according to a city, how will you define it in a general term?
Very right, Mr. Singh. In a general term, we would say that a property is in the luxury segment if the amenities, facilities, and finishes coupled with the location are far more superior compared to the majority offerings within that particular geography.
Tabish Nakash is asking, do luxury developers come up with discounts or deals at pre-launch or launch stage?
It is observed that most luxury units are sold towards completion, as buyers of luxury property would like to see, touch, feel as to what they are getting into and then invest. In luxury property, because of the ticket size, normally not much discounts are offered at pre-launch stage because building luxury does cost a lot of money.
Abdul Shahid is asking, what is the present cost of construction of luxury villa in the area of Trichy and or Thanjavur in Tamil Nadu?
Oh, the question. Abdul Shahid. Mr. Abdul Shahid, Trichy, Thanjavur, luxury would be very, very dramatic homes, would be large spread out homes, would be low on FAR, would not have basements. Given that they would also be coupled with a lot of woodwork, and anything above 4,000 rupees a square foot would be the cost of construction for these luxury homes when you look at an end-to-end product and not necessarily only the construction value.
Raghav has asked, which impacts the price of luxury property more? Is it the interior design or the amenities that come along with the apartment?
Amenities which come along with the apartment.
Vijay has another question, and he's asking who are the reputed builders in Panvel who offer value and timely and good construction, since we are NRIs and we are out of touch.
Which is currently in Panvel, you would see a lot of influx of reputed names coming out of Mumbai. You being an NRI, I would rather request you to lay your bet on reputed developers who also have developments in Panvel. There is an effective net search which you can indulge into, and I'm sure Magicbricks or any such site would give you the freedom to do your research.
Question. So we've already answered Mr. Raghav's question on what impacts more interior design amenities. So we'll move to Anju's question, which is, which 5 cities in India, according to you, are the best to invest in luxury property?
The best to invest in luxury property would be the financial capital of this country, Mumbai. The next best, in my opinion, would be the political capital of this country would be Delhi and NCR. The third from me would be the largest trading city with the entire far east of this country, Chennai. The fourth would be Bangalore, which is the IT capital of the country, which is where modern India is growing up. And somehow I believe Hyderabad as the common capital of Andhra and Telangana and the future singular capital of Telangana would be a safe bet to invest in luxury properties.
Joseph Roy is asking, when the present government is focusing on affordable housing throughout India, won't it further impact the luxury market?
Mr. Joseph, as I said, that I personally believe that not more than between 5 to 10% of the market demand is for luxury market. The majority still is in the affordable segment. The demand, what I'm stating to. The government has to represent the masses. The government is for the benefit of the masses. Hence, what the government is focusing on affordable housing is something which every government should do, and they're doing it. I will congratulate the government for doing that. Luxury has always been a niche. Luxury has always been an aspirational housing portfolio. This aspirational housing portfolio has to be catered to, as there are a lot of people who would aspire to live in a luxury product.
Pushpa Rawat is asking, shouldn't an investor be worried since the target audience of luxury properties are less and comparatively such properties take more time to sell?
Yes, Pushpa. First, let's have it clear. Luxury properties more often are taken up by end users. Why would an end user buy a property and then sell it off if he's going to live in it? But yes, should you wish to sell a luxury property, it will take more time to sell. Primarily A, because the target audience for luxury requirement is less on a percentage basis. But as the economic affordability and wealth generation in this country is increasing far more rapidly, more and more people are able to satisfy this aspiration. Hence, on a volume basis, the number of purchase of luxury property is definitely increasing. Why will it take time to sell? Is because of the high ticket price. Because luxury properties, on an average, are slightly larger than the average of a particular geography.
Denise Joseph has another question. The question is, do you have information about real estate in Cochin, Kerala? Is it worth investing in Cochin?
I don't have realistic information. There are international property consultants whom you could consult. There are local markets generators, Creda is there whom you could consult. But what I have seen, Kochi explode. Kochi has exploded beyond MG Road in Ernakulam, and Kakanad also is a part of Kochi. The ride all the way to Nedumbasari Airport from Kochi is virgin, and this is where the new Cochin would grow. The way the population is increasing, right, I do see that it has a future, and if you are from that region and you want to buy your second home over there, it could be a wise decision.
Ram Chandran is asking, does technology necessarily define standard of luxury?
To an extent, yes. For example, if you look at Maslow's theory of hierarchy, food and subsistence was the base. Today, amongst the technology savvy, you will say Wi-Fi is the base. Now, Wi-Fi is technology. So every new property needs to be conversant and adaptable to modern lifestyles. Technology is incorporated in modern lifestyles. Hence, to a large extent, luxury homes should have technology incorporated to a certain extent.
Jadav Chandrasekhar is asking, which reaps more capital return, a luxury property or an affordable property?
People who buy affordable homes barely manage to buy more than this affordable home. We have yet to see the evolution where people will buy more than one or two affordable homes and then indulge in speculation. Currently, I would say that should you invest, keeping all the parameters I discussed earlier in view, in a luxury property, in my opinion, you may benefit more from investing in a luxury property.
Rajesh is asking, I wish to buy a spacious 3 BHK in Zira 4 near Chandigarh. However, it should be luxurious apartment. My budget is around 80 lakhs. What is your opinion?
If you find something within your budget which you like and you call luxurious, please go ahead and make your investment. Chandigarh is going to grow as times come. It is the state capital for 2 states as it is.
Munish is asking, which is easy to sell and which gives more benefit, a villa or a luxurious apartment?
Monish, it depends on which city you are talking about. It may be difficult to sell an apartment in a city which views homes to be predominantly their lifestyle. In Mumbai, a villa or an apartment will fetch you equal amounts of returns, as both are viewed just as a property. However, in a few cities, maybe Indore, it may be difficult to sell an apartment. In Nagpur, it may be difficult to resell an apartment. Both these cities, it may be easier for you to transact in reselling the villas or independent homes, as you may wish to call them.
Diya Chanda is asking, how do you define luxury in a tier 2 city and how beneficial it is to invest there?
Dia, if it's purely an investment proposition, then one should go with the market where markets are robust, buoyant, and transactions are happening. If you're investing in a tier 2 city, I think it is for an emotional reason. If things are done in an emotional manner, it is not correct to measure what is the kind of return of investment, because when emotions come into play, logic fails. So to be honest with you, I have really not understood your question, but if you believe in that city and the geography, and if you can afford, I would say please go ahead and invest in the luxury property.
We'll take 3 more questions now. So Kalpana is asking, is there a price correction expected to happen in the luxury segment as well?
Properties offered by developers as first sale, you may not see a correction. Properties which have entered the secondary market, you may see a correction.
Vijay Anand is asking, is it wise to buy a luxury flat or to invest in a plot and make it luxury ourselves?
Vijay, the greatest pleasure which you would derive is by building something with your own hands, by creating something with your own hands. Ultimately, the joy which you will get by creating your own home is unparalleled. As per your question, I would say please buy a plot of land and build your dream home. You'll be far more happier in terms of contentment, even if the money does not come into that effect, but the contentment is priceless.
So last question is from Snehal. She's asking, where will I get more profits, by investing in luxury property or in an affordable one?
Snehal, I think I answered this question earlier. We are still to go through the cycle of reselling coming into the affordable segment. So I would say that as per the current times, if you can afford, don't borrow money, but if you're sitting on a pile of cash, please invest into a luxury property.
Okay, so the last one is, does luxury housing stick to green housing standards?
Most responsible developers today do adopt standards which are in line with either the LEED specifications or the green building project specification in one form or the other. They may not necessarily get them certified, but I'm sure a lot of them today do use water harvesting, a lot of them today do use solar lights, a lot of them today do use methods in construction which are more green, and hence I would say that luxury housing definitely does include a lot of green building standards.
Thanks for the insightful presentation, Mr. Yash. Would you like to say some closing lines before we end this webinar today?
I think, Aradhana, I have answered most queries. People have to understand that luxury housing is a necessity, because the point is somebody has to point, somebody has to show direction, somebody has to show as to where can housing specification in buildings go to a particular level. As they say, unless you view it, you can't yearn for it. Unless you yearn for it, you will not make it happen. So hence, luxury housing is a necessity which does satisfy a certain demand from our society. One should not look at luxury housing saying that luxury housing is a dirty word. ultimately business has to survive, economy has to grow, and somebody has to provide luxury housing. Thank you, Aradhana.
Well said, sir. And I'm really thankful to our guest speaker today for conducting this informative webinar with us. It was indeed a great session. I would also like to thank all our participants for their support in making this webinar a success. Thank you all for joining us today. Thank you, Mr. Yash, for taking the time out and having us. I hope you have a great day ahead.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir. We will close now. Bye-bye.